My daughter asked if she should tell her grandparents she's gay. I said no, but she did it anyway. What happened next destroyed our family. I'm a 45-year-old single mom to 2 kids. My son is 17, and my daughter just turned 18. My parents are in their early 70s, and they're loaded, like $8 million in retirement accounts loaded. They've always been good grandparents. Every Christmas meant designer gifts. They bought my daughter a brand new Honda Civic for her 16th birthday. They promised both kids a full ride to any college they wanted, plus a private apartment near campus. The trust funds were already set up. There was just one massive problem. My parents are evangelical Christians who still think being gay is a choice and a sin. They've made comments about those people my entire life. When my daughter came out to me last spring, I was so proud of her. We sat on her bed and I held her while she cried happy tears. I told her I loved her no matter what, but then she said she wanted to tell her grandparents. My stomach dropped. Listen to me, I said. I need you to really hear what I'm about to say. I explained that her grandparents come from a different world, that to them, she wouldn't be their beloved granddaughter anymore. She'd just be another slur they use at church. They will cut you off completely, I told her. No more gifts, no more car payments, no college fund, no inheritance, nothing. I wasn't asking her to hide who she was. She could date girls, go to Pride, live her authentic life. I just asked her to keep it off social media where my parents would see it, and not bring it up around them directly. They're 72 years old, I said. In 5 or 10 years, this won't even matter anymore. Then you'll have financial security for life. At the time, my daughter seemed to understand. She hugged me and said she'd think about it. That was 4 months ago. Everything changed when she joined this Discord server for LGBTQ teens. Good kids, I'm sure, but none of them had ever met my parents. None of them understood what was at stake. They started filling her head with ideas that she was still in the closet if she wasn't out to everyone, that her grandparents would eventually come around, that living authentically was worth more than money. For weeks, my daughter kept bringing it up. Maybe they'll surprise us, she'd say. People change. Every single time I warned her. I told her exactly what would happen. I begged her not to do it. She promised me she wouldn't. Last month, we invited my parents over for Sunday dinner. Everything was normal. My mom brought her famous apple pie. My dad complained about gas prices. Then dessert happened. My daughter stood up from the table. My son gave me this panicked look. He knew something was coming. Grandma, Grandpa, she started. Her voice was shaking. I have something important to tell you. I felt my chest tighten. No, please no. She had a whole speech prepared about how she knows they're from a different generation, how the world is changing and they'll have to change too, how deep down she knows they love her enough to accept who she really is. I'm gay, she finally said, and I hope you'll still love me. The silence was deafening. My dad's face turned bright red. My mom's mouth was pressed into a thin line. They didn't yell. They didn't argue. They just stood up, grabbed their coats, and walked out. My dad stopped at the door. We'll be in touch, was all he said. My daughter was convinced they'd call the next day to apologize. They didn't. 2 weeks later, a certified letter arrived from their lawyer. My daughter had been completely removed from their will. Her trust fund was dissolved. They'd allocated her portion to their church's traditional values ministry. The car they'd bought her, repossessed within 48 hours. They owned the title. Her phone plan, canceled that same day. The college fund that was supposed to cover everything, gone. All $140,000 of it. That's when reality hit her. She'd just lost $2.3 million in total inheritance, plus 4 years of college completely paid for, plus living expenses. Now she's facing student loans she never had to worry about. She's filling out FAFSA forms and applying for scholarships. She got a job at Target just to save up for textbooks, and she blames me for everything. At first she was in shock, then came the anger. She started breaking things around the house, slamming doors, throwing her phone, punching walls. My son started spending more time at friends' houses. Last night we had another confrontation. She screamed that this was all my fault, that I wanted her to live in a closet her entire life, that I never really supported her. Something in me finally snapped. I warned you, I shouted back. I warned you over and over, and you chose to listen to strangers on the internet who have never even met them. You picked your online friends over the one person who actually knows how they think. I gave you advice on the best investment you'd ever make, and you completely blew it. My daughter's face crumpled. She ran upstairs and slammed her door. I could hear her sobbing through the walls. I've cut off my parents completely. I sent them a final message telling them exactly what I think of them. They didn't even respond, but the damage is already done. My daughter's future is permanently changed, and now she hates me too.